This bulb you see here in California is glowing for the last 120 years. In last 120 years, this bulb was never switched off, not even once. It has a backup generator to ensure continuous power supply. But how is it possible? How can a bulb made more than a century ago can be that strong, whereas the bulb we use today becomes useless within months? Well, there is a story behind it, and that story explains why products are made not to last longer. This is the secret that companies don't want you to know. So watch this video till the end, and without any delay, let's start today's episode. The invention of light bulb had totally changed our world. For the first time, we understood how to turn electrical energy into light. By 1879, Thomas Alva Edison made a light bulb that lasted for 14 hours. Over the years, research was put into making the most efficient light bulb. By 1920, we had a light bulb that lasted for 2500 hours. It means if you use the light bulb 24/7, it would last roughly 3 months. Companies all around the world were manufacturing these bulbs. But there was a problem. Having a most efficient light bulb was a great breakthrough for science. From customers' perspective, they were getting the best quality bulb that lasted longer. But when it comes to a company that producing these bulbs, it didn't make any business sense. Let me explain why. Every company makes profit by driving more sales. If your product is new to the market, the first level of sales will come from the new customers. But once everyone in the market bought your product, where will the new sales come from? The answer is replacements. When a customer who already bought your product comes back to buy the same product again, just like you replace your toothpaste or a soap. The time period between the first purchase and replacement is called replacement cycle. The shorter the replacement cycle is, better it is for the company, as customer will come back frequently for the purchase. But if the company is selling a long-lasting product, this replacement cycle gets longer and longer. It also means that companies' sales will decline. Same had happened in case of light bulb companies. Sales volumes were negatively impacted. They have to find a way to boost their sales and sustain their business. So came into existence the Phoebus cartel. In 1924, representatives from the world's largest lighting companies like Philips, General Electric, Osram, and others across the globe came together in Geneva and formed the Phoebus cartel. But what is the meaning of the word Phoebus, you might ask? Phoebus is the Greek god of light, so the light companies used this name to name their cartel. This cartel was totally unofficial. They agreed on a simple solution to deal with the problem of declining sales. And the solution was to reduce the useful life of the bulb to 1000 hours from the normal 2500 hours. It will lead to a shorter replacement cycle, and in turn it will lead to more sales. To ensure that every member in the cartel is following these practices, a test center was created where every member in this Phoebus cartel had to send a sample of their product. If any bulb lasted longer than 1000 hours, that company was fined. This is how companies deliberately made the bulbs more fragile. The light bulb in the Livermore was made before this cartel was formed, and that's the secret for its longer life. Of course, some special efforts were put into extending its life. The Phoebus cartel would eventually dissolve due to increased external competition and the disruption of World War II. But it had successfully demonstrated a very important point. Producing products with less useful life is the secret to sustaining consistent sales and profits. This phenomena is called planned obsolescence, and it explains how products are intentionally made not to last longer. Although the light bulb has been the first victim of planned obsolescence, this functionality is still in use today and built into the things around us. It is just that we don't notice. One best example comes from a printer. Every printer has a cartridge which has the ink needed for printing. Printer has relatively longer useful life, roughly 3 to 5 years. Replacement cycle is high for printer but not for the cartridge, because the more you print, more cartridges you need. Exactly here, company plays its trick. If company can somehow accelerate the replacement cycle of a cartridge, it can sell more. These cartridges have a chip that prevents it from printing when one of the inks in it reaches certain level, even though what is left inside is enough to do the job. In addition, smart chips are being inserted into printers to prevent it from working after reaching set limit of prints, and the customer don't have any option but to buy a new one. This practice is a clear example of planned obsolescence. Another example of planned obsolescence is smartphone. In 2018, Apple and Samsung were fined 5 million and 10 million euros each by Italy government for planned obsolescence in their smartphones. Competition Authority found that old smartphone devices from this company were slowing down after certain software updates, thereby encouraging the purchase of new phone. And this slowdown was always coincidental with the launch of new model from these companies. Apple had long admitted that it was slowing down the operations of models like iPhone 6 and 7 in order to protect the battery from draining out. Of course, no one believed in it. But the conspiracy of planned obsolescence costed millions to Apple and Samsung in the form of fines. If you have observed, smartphone companies always keep the spare parts cost high. This is done intentionally to discourage you from repairing and encouraging you to buy new phone. When you go to have your device repaired or part replaced, the repair or replacement cost is often priced a little lower than the new unit, making it hard not to throw the device away and upgrade to the new one. And the customer becomes the victim of planned obsolescence. And there are many more examples like this. Is planned obsolescence built into each and every product? The answer is no. Because the refrigerator at your home has a life expectancy of 14 years. Television can last 5 to 7 years. And the car in your parking lot has a life of 15 years. There is no planned obsolescence in these products, right? The answer is not simple. By the way, if you are enjoying this video, consider subscribing to my channel. Let's get this straight. Companies want you to spend money. That's the way they earn revenue. But if a product has a longer life, how will a company continue to grow its revenues? Because the customer is going to come back for a second purchase after several years, right? In reality, that's not how it works. Companies know exactly how to trick you into buying their product, and the secret weapon they use is perceived obsolescence. Perceived obsolescence happens when a customer is convinced that he or she needs an updated product, even though the existing product is working just fine. The best example for perceived obsolescence is fashion industry. Nobody want to wear clothes which are out of style, which are not trending. But is there anything wrong with the old style? No. It is a trick used by fashion companies. They want to sell more. So they create a perception that their new style is cool and the existing styles are out of date. People fall for that, ultimately benefiting the company. Smartphone industry frequently uses perceived obsolescence as their weapon to sell their new model. The smartphone released just 6 months back becomes obsolete when the company comes up with their latest model, which is a little better in terms of performance, and people just want to be part of that group who has the latest iPhone or OnePlus 90 or Samsung S20 Ultra. But the previous smartphone was working just fine. If there is anything that has changed, then it is your perception. Perceived obsolescence is the marketing pitch used by the company to sell their product, and it works very well. Perceived obsolescence is the reason why automobile companies release new version of the same car, or a new color, same bike with a new look, or a limited edition, and whatnot. Look around you, you will find many more examples of perceived obsolescence. Now, let's look at things from other perspective. Is planned obsolescence or perceived obsolescence really bad? We can blame companies for drastically reducing the product life. But on a macroeconomic scale, the rapid production of these products create millions of jobs. It helps in running the economic machine. Just think about the money people are earning by manufacturing and selling millions of smartphones. As a result of this vicious cycle, industry had made countless goods cheap and thus available to nearly everyone in this world. Oftentimes, planned obsolescence isn't really bad, as it benefits both the consumer and the manufacturer. Companies plan the durability of their goods as per the customer needs and expectations. For example, take children's clothing. Who buys super durable clothes for their kids? Depending on their age, children might grow out of their clothes, sometimes in just few months. After that, those clothes are useless. Here, planned obsolescence makes perfect sense. Also, when we talk about the perceived obsolescence, isn't it something we want? Let me explain. You must have heard about law of diminishing marginal utility in economics. It says, as you use a product more and more, the additional benefit you get from that product declines. It is built into human mind. After using a product for a long period of time, you are going to get bored and you just want to get rid of that product. And companies take advantage of this human behavior. Even if a company sells the best possible product, you are going to be unhappy with it after some time. One bad effect of planned obsolescence is that it promotes discarding the product after a short period of time, which in turn increases pollution at different levels. Manufacturing the products in short period of time increases consumption of natural resources, which negatively affects the environment. All the e-waste goes into landfills and ultimately accelerates the global warming. Companies can provide you the best product, but they won't. An idea that makes sense for one doesn't make any sense for other. But the industry is changing. Today, a normal LED bulb has a lifespan of 50,000 hours. It means if you use it 24/7, it can last up to 5.7 years. It also means that the replacement cycle is longer. So how the industry is going to ensure incremental sales? Will it lead to a new Phoebus cartel in future? I don't know. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. So that's the video, guys. If you like my content, consider subscribing to my channel. And don't forget to smash that bell icon to be notified every time I release a new video. Thanks for watching. This is Curious Monk, signing off.